Welcome back to Muslim Minds. I am Hamza. This is Rohaib.
We are here today to ask you to help us reach 1,000 subscribers so we can produce more content for you guys.
Reinvest back into the channel and do more in real life content. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to this channel to help us grow. I'm Hamza and that is Rohaib right there. Assalamu alaikum, Rohaib.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
We're going to be learning about Sikhism from Cogito. So let's jump right into it.
This is the Hari Mandir, the world's largest free kitchen. It serves free vegetarian food to about 100,000 people every day. It's also the holiest site in Sikhism, the fifth largest and youngest of the world religions. A religion that preaches about love, peace, and the equality of humankind.
I just want to say right off the cuff, Sikhism has a lot of similarities to Islam. One all-powerful being, unlike anything in the creation. They wear beards, they have turbans. So
Sikhism is, he said, also the newest. Did it come from some offshoot of Islam?
I was going to say, I don't think it's a coincidence that Sikhism is kind of like a blend of Hinduism and Islam. It obviously just originated. It's a
geographical type thing, maybe.
Yeah.
But also asks its followers to carry swords. So, who are the Sikhs? What do they believe? And why does everyone confuse them for Muslims? Well, let's find out. Sikhism originated in the Punjab area of India and Pakistan 500 years ago. The Punjab, the land of 5 rivers, is one of the most historically and culturally dense areas on earth. This was the home of one of the world's earliest civilizations, the Indus Valley Civilization. Persians, Greeks, Central Asians, Mughals, the British, and others have all invaded here. I meant Mughals. Mughals invaded here. Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Jainism, and a handful of other faiths have all left their mark on the region. The diverse culture of the Punjab has heavily influenced the Sikhs. Today there are about 25 million Sikhs. They make up about...
The comment I made earlier about like religious influence, I don't think that's like irrational, because even Islam in Bangladesh, for example, has a lot of Hindu influence in some of their practices. It kind of seeps, even in Pakistan, there's a lot of bid'ah. It comes from Hinduism. Yeah.
Let's see, what their origin story is. Because, they just said they come from a place where all those major religions are, and they're the newest one.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
2% of India's population, but about 60% of the Punjabs. The Sikh diaspora is spread out across the world, with concentrations in the UK, Canada, the US, East Africa, Australia, and Malaysia. Sikhs, interestingly enough, make up about 1.5% of Canada's population, which is second only to India. The word Sikh means learner. Sikhs call their religion Sikhi, Gursikhi, and Gurmat. You can't really understand the Sikhs without understanding their relationship with gurus. The word guru means a teacher or spiritual guide. The guru teaches and the Sikh learns. The Sikhs follow the teachings of 10 succeeding gurus that have shaped Sikhism. The first and most important guru is Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism. Born in 1469 CE near what is today Lahore, Pakistan. Nanak was seen as special even...
1469? That's so early. That's so new compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
400 or 500 years ago? When you're talking about Islam or Christianity, those are 1,500, 2,000. This is only 500 years ago, literally. That's very new.
And look, in Pakistan, we're all one of the most heavily Islamically populated.
Like I said, it's new. That's why there's a baby right here. It's new.
Oh my God.
Even as a child, as a baby, he was said to have had the laugh of an adult man. Here comes the bird.
Comes from Isa, speaking from the cradle. They're just doing the laugh.
He laughs like an adult when he's a kid.
What's the point of that?
That doesn't sound so cool. I don't know.
As a teenager, he preferred to listen to Hindu saints and Sufi Muslim preachers rather than his own parents.
Hindu saints and Sufi Muslim preachers.
That's what I said in the beginning. He got influenced by the different religious traditions.
And it's weird, so they just believe in gurus? Sounds like Hinduism.
Yeah, influenced by
Hinduism. But what's the...
As an adult, Nanak would settle in Sultanpur, where he worked for the government. The actions of his fellow government officials and the rich and powerful disgusted him as they exploited ordinary working people. and he hated the caste divisions that he saw all around him. One day, while bathing in a river near Sultanpur, Nanak had a miraculous experience. He was swept up into God's court, where God spoke to him. Nanak reappeared 3 days later, declaring, "There is no Hindu and there is no Muslim. There was only God." This was a message in...
So Sikhism is very intertwined with Hinduism and Islam.
But there is no Hindu and there is no Muslim.
It seems like he birthed something from those ideologies. And
he got lost. He was gone for 3 days and he returned.
Yeah.
So that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
So let's just see how it...
It's like Mormonism it's like Mormons is for Muslims type of thing.
Kind of, I guess.
I guess maybe
similar, maybe in a way.
Inspired by his experience with God, one that spoke in favour of the equality of humankind and against caste, ethnic and religious divisions. Nanak would later say, "Accept all humans as your equals and let them be your only sect." 9 human gurus followed Nanak, all preaching the same message of one God and the equality of humankind. 2 fundamental events that shaped Sikh history was the martyrdom of 2 gurus. The first was the 5th guru, Guru Arjan, who was roasted alive by the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. The next martyr will be the 9th guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur. He was beheaded by the Mughals while attempting to defend the...
that's horrible, but that's very merciful compared to the last guru, roasted to death.
Boiled in oil.
Religious rights of Hindus. His son, Guru Gobind Rai, the 10th and final human guru, started a new Sikh community called the Khalsa, and ended the line of human gurus by making the Guru Granth Saheb, the Sikh holy book, the last living guru. We'll take a closer look at both of these in a bit. So with that brief history out of the way, let's take a look at the core beliefs of Sikhism. 1. One God. The Sikh holy book, the Guru Granth Sahib's opening sentence is just 2 words, Ik Onkar. There is only one God. Nanak made sure it was clear that the focus was on one. Ik doesn't just mean one, it is literally the numeral 1. One God is by far the most important belief in Sikhism. This may not be the kind of God you're used to though. Sikhs believe in a formless, genderless, universal God beyond description. This God is all of reality and is within everything. They believe no idol or image could ever represent this being, so they use the sacred symbol of Ik Onkar to represent it instead. Many Sikhs refer to this one God by the name Way Onkar to represent it instead. Many Sikhs refer to this one God by the name Way Guru, Wondrous Lord. Guru Nanak and his followers constantly...
Sounds similar to Allah, but there obviously might be some differences.
Yeah.
We don't believe Allah's in everything. Yeah. Like he's not with us here. Like some Muslims or some beliefs teach like Allah's everywhere, but he's not. But Allah created everything. But we also believe Allah's like we don't. He's what's it called? Formless, genderless. It's not the same as us.
No image can grasp him.
There's no idols. We don't worship idols.
Yeah.
So that's similar concepts.
Emphasized that this one could be understood in many different ways. No religion had a monopoly on the truth. Nanak's one could be known as Vishnu, Allah, the Tao, Yahweh, the algorithm, or any other name or belief. There was no need to fight over whose God was the true God, as they were all the same one. Recognize all mankind, whether Muslim or Hindu, as one. The same God is the creator and nourisher of all. Recognize no distinctions among them. The temple and the mosque are the same, so are Hindu worship and Muslim prayer.
Like, a way to mend differences, but that doesn't, it sounds nice, but that doesn't have any kind of...
It's a very idealist type of view, but I would think... Yes, we are all mankind, we're all humans. That's how we're all one, obviously. But the beliefs of Hindus and Muslims are not the same.
Yeah, they're contradictory beliefs.
And the Hindu temple and the mosque are not the same either.
Yeah. Practices, the beliefs about God, beliefs about how humans should live, these are contradictory. There's only one truth. That's what truth is.
Yeah, and we can't all be accepted as true if all those different religions have
Yeah,
very
like
different
Jesus,
beliefs.
for example.
Yeah.
Christians believe Jesus is God. The Sikhs
Muslims.
themselves understand that God doesn't have a form, and He's genderless. So therefore, it's a contradiction. One can't.
Yeah,
they
the
both
Muslims
can't
and
be
Christians
right.
are different in that, and the Muslims and Hindus are definitely very different in the belief of God. So we're all mankind, and we all have to respect each other. But the religions themselves and belief systems, we believe Islam is the one truth.
Yeah, respectfully disagree.
Human beings are all one. Guru Gobind Singh. The lack of a gender for this one God means that there is no difference between men and women in Sikhism. Sikhism was among the first major world religions to make the radical suggestion that maybe, just maybe, women are people too. Women in Sikhism have fought battles, led religious
I've ever heard.
Yeah, Islam actually gave women so many rights and made them like equal when it comes to human. So Islam already did that.
Yeah,
and not only that, it also like erased racism and stuff like that, and did so many other things. So
I'm kind of shocked you would make that claim. Even Christianity has elements of, maybe practices of the Christians early on could have included some oppression, I guess, but the actual teachings early on in the church,
yeah,
it taught that there are roles, but not that they're like less equal. I guess I don't know. It depends on it depends on the Christian though.
Maybe we need to look into it more. What does Sikhism actually say about women? Like, how do they make them equal? He just kind of said it.
What he just said was like it's the first religion that said women are people too.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, like kind of like saying that other religions that just have a barbaric view about women.
Yeah.
Services and even acted as some of the longest reigning leaders of the
that's kind of actually subjective. Anyway, whatever.
Entire community. Sikhism isn't based on doing things to get into some heaven or hell. Hell is just life on earth, which your soul is constantly reborn into after you die, which is pretty dark.
Buddhism.
You see, Sikhs believe in reincarnation and karma, similar to Buddhists, Hindus and Jains. But Sikhs believe that karma is modified by God. As in, karma might decide what life you're born into, but God makes sure that anyone can become a good person in their lifetime if they try. The goal of Sikh life is to break free from the cycle of rebirth by merging your soul back into God's soul. One does this by realizing that you are already a part of God. You just need to let go of your ego. When your soul remerges back into God's, this is called mukti, which is similar to Hinduism's moksha and means liberation. When you remerge, your...
This is kind of scary. Don't you just lose your consciousness and kind of cease to exist in a way then?
Yeah. That's different from Muslims. We believe Allah gave us a soul, but we are not gonna go back. We'll go back to Allah in heaven, in Jannah, but we are not gonna merge with Allah.
We're gonna remain our own
beings.
beings.
We are not Allah. We're not a part of Allah.
Yeah, that's stuck on Allah.
Soul is released from the cycle of rebirth and death and becomes infinite, timeless, and blissful. This is the closest thing Sikhs have to heaven. 2. Maya. Sikhs believe that God is and created reality. But we forget this because humans are distracted by illusion or Maya, which is anything that takes your mind off God. Maya keeps people trapped in the cycle of rebirth and death. Guru Nanak thought that Maya built a wall between people and God. The wall of Maya is built with the 5 thieves: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and pride. It is the duty of all Sikhs to avoid these thieves. The 5 thieves are caused by how mai, literally I, myself. How mai makes people say, I am this, I am that, and it separates you from others, which blocks you from realizing your oneness with God. This ego causes people to live only for themselves, to spew negativity, and to crave power and wealth. Such a person is called munmuk, facing towards desires.
Is there any kind of incentive to become a Sikh? If everyone's the same.
I guess not. They just believe that if you don't, then you're just gonna have mind keep being rebirthed, and the ultimate goal is to be connected again with God.
Well, that doesn't make sense because then it's before 500 years ago. Then what did people do?
That's a good point. Yeah, because us as Muslims, we believe everyone was always a Muslim, but then Islam came. The final laws for Muslims came. Because Muslim just means to submit. So anyone that was a prophet before is a Muslim because they all submitted to the oneness of God. So if Sikhism, I don't know, they only started in 1469 or something.
Guru Nanak saw the world's problems as the negative effects of ego. Hindu versus Muslim, Israeli versus Palestinian, sitting down wipers versus standing up wipers. All of these conflicts are caused by ego.
Standing.
Who does that? And if Sikhs believe they're both the same, then you're just wrong. I'll never believe you.
Come on, guys.
That's a point too far. That's a wipe too far.
Ego and Maya. The Guru Granth Saheb said it is not religion or race, but it is wealth that divides brothers. But Guru Nanak taught that there was an other direction people could face. By being a spiritual person, practicing compassion, truth, contentment, humility and love, and meditating on God, you could instead become Gurmukh, facing towards
the moon that firebender when he killed the fish.
Admiral
Zhao.
Guru. How does one become Gurmukh and egoless? Well, Sikhism offers a path to follow that can help, called the 3 pillars. Three pillars. The 3 pillars are 1. Nam Japo, which is meditation on God and the reciting and chanting of God's name. Way Guru. This is normally done in the morning and before bed. This isn't supposed to just be some mindless ritual either. Sikhs are supposed to genuinely reflect on the qualities of God as they do this. 2. Kirat Karni, working hard and making an honest living. Guru Nanak said, only he who earns his living by the sweat of his brow and shares his earnings with others has discovered the path of righteousness. 3. Wand Chakna. This is sharing the fruits of your labour with others, providing free food and donating to the community. The Sikh tradition of a communal meal or langar at the Gurdwaras is a part of Wand Chakna. The langar or communal free kitchen inside of a Sikh Gurdwara, which is their equivalent of a mosque or church, is open to all who visit, regardless of caste, faith or gender. These serve vegetarian food to all, not because Sikhs have to be vegetarian, but simply because that means all people of all diets can partake. So if you want to taste typical Punjabi food, just go visit a Gurdwara. In Guru Nanak's time, the idea of different castes sitting together on the floor and eating side by side was a revolutionary act. Famously, the Mughal Emperor Akbar.
Sitting side by side on the floor is a revolutionary act in eating. Muslims have been doing that for 1500 years.
I think he means like in context of like differing beliefs and views, like people who would not live harmoniously outside of the building did so inside.
Muslims already do that though.
Yeah, so, but there's a lot of...
No, the way that it's just putting it as like Sikhs are the first to do stuff.
Ever, yeah.
But the last few minutes in the 3 pillars, everything he said, it's not new. Yeah. So
these are
Muslims all did that.
Inherited and altered ideas.
Like prayer, giving to the poor, doing good actions, giving food to people.
Their main contention would be like, oh, but Islam creates division and there's disagreements among the people, but it's like, but just accepting everyone is not also another viable solution.
Islam is just, we believe it's the best way because God revealed revelation to a prophet, so it's the best thing to follow. And Islam is also very moderate. Obviously, there might be bad stuff that happen, but it's not on the religion itself. Yeah. But a lot of the good
goes
things,
for most religions.
A lot of
always extreme.
The good things said about Sikhism is already in Islam.
Yeah.
Akbar visited Guru Arjan, and the Guru would not meet with him until he partook in a langar, which the emperor did, sitting side by side with peasants. Guru Nanak claimed,
Akbar means great. It's in the Quran. Allah Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
An enlightened person are those who view everyone equally, like the heir touching the king and beggar alike. Another vital part of Sikhism that isn't one of the 3 pillars is seva, which is selfless service. Through service to their community, Sikhs can become more humble and overcome their ego. Seva can include cleaning up the Gurdwara, preparing food, or cleaning dishes in the langar, or it can include volunteering, building things for your community, or subscribing and ringing the notification bell on educational YouTube channels. Through remembering God's name, honest work and sharing, along with selfless service and avoiding the 5 thieves, a person can rid themselves of egoism and be released from the cycle of rebirth and death. 4. The Khalsa. Guru Gobind Rai was the son of the 9th Guru, Teg Bahadur, who was beheaded by the Mughals and his body was abandoned by his Sikh entourage. They fled easily because no one could recognize them. So, Guru Gobind decided to give Sikhs a distinct look from now on so that they would always be compelled to uphold Sikh values. So, in 1699, Guru Gobind brought his Sikhs together at Anandapur. After their morning prayer, he stood in front of a huge crowd and demanded a human sacrifice. The shocked crowd was silent for a while before one Sikh rose up and entered the Guru's tent. The Guru followed him in, and then the Guru comes out with blood on his sword. He demands another sacrifice. Another Sikh offers themselves and enters the tent. Again, only the Guru comes back out of the tent, bloody sword in hand. Again, another sacrifice. And again, and finally, after the 5th sacrifice, the Guru re-emerges with the 5 Sikhs all wearing saffron-coloured robes. The Guru declares that these are the Panj Pyare, the 5 beloved ones. They would form the centre of a new Sikh community called the Khalsa. He offered them Amrit, a bowl of sweetened water, and all 5 who belonged to different caste groups drank the Amrit from the same bowl, which would have been a huge deal back then. This signified they had joined a new casteless family, the Khalsa. Each of these volunteers had to leave behind their old surnames or caste names and adopt the same surname, Singh, which comes from the Sanskrit word Simba, meaning lion. I know, right? It has no relation to the Bantu word Simba, which also means lion. It's just a weird coincidence, which is great. The Guru then begged the 5 beloved ones to let him join their Khalsa. They offered him the Amrit, and the Guru became Guru Gobind Singh.
Nice
Women were admitted to the Khalsa the same way as men. After drinking the Amrit, they received the surname Kaur, meaning princess. The Khalsa gave the Sikhs a new, unified identity, tied together as one family, with one name, without caste, with the goal of defending the weak and promoting justice. Today, many Sikhs still undergo the Amrit ceremony and take the surnames Singh and Kaur. The Khalsa were also given new rules to follow, which included the wearing of the Panj Kakar, or the 5 Ks. The first was Kes, which is uncut hair to represent discipline. The second was Karga, a small comb in the hair. The third was a Kirpan, a sword to uphold justice and protect the weak, which is nowadays usually a small sword. It is importantly not an offensive weapon, and the Sikh Code of Conduct claims it can only be used to destroy tyrants and oppressors. It must not be used for anything else. The fourth is Kakahira, kind of loose-fitting boxer shorts to represent sexual restraint. And the 5th is Kara, a steel bracelet. Its circular shape represents the infinity of God. Interestingly, the turban is not one of the...
Interesting stuff there. So that only happened in 1699 though? So it's only like 300 years old. At least the head thing. Do you think that would make you more disciplined, having hair like that? You never cut your hair for your whole life. It's kind of opposite from Muslims, because when we go to Umrah or Hajj, we shave our head as a form of discipline to Allah.
Yeah. Because that's a pretty big thing to sacrifice, right?
Because hair is
only men
beautifying.
have to shave their head in Umrah or Hajj. And it's like, you just... all that gone.
Yeah.
5 Ks. Instead, it's worn to cover the Sikh's long, uncut hair, the kes. Turbans have become essential to Sikh identity and hold very special significance to them. Chances are, if you see someone wearing a turban, the vast majority of the time, that person will be a Sikh, not a Muslim. 5. The Guru Granth Sahib. The Guru Granth Sahib is the holy book of the Sikhs. It contains the teachings of the Gurus and acts as a spiritual guide for Sikhs around the world. It is probably one of the only holy books that contains not only the writings of the religion's founders written by themselves rather than after their death, but also the writing of people from other religions. The writings of Muslims and Hindus can be found throughout, along with references to Judaism, Buddhism, and Christianity. Before his death in 1708, the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, ended the line.
That's so weird. So there's all different religions in one book, and Sikhs themselves, and they believe it's the last Guru. So it's just like a amalgamation of them all. That's so strange. And why would a Muslim be writing that? Like, did they know? Or did they just take it from a Muslim writer and put it in the book?
Could be. Don't know.
That's pretty strange.
Line of human gurus by bestowing guruship on the Adi Granth, turning it into the Guru Granth Sahib, making it similar to both the Bible and Quran and a living prophet at the same time. To break down the name, the word guru means guru, Granth means book, and Sahib means Lord. Since that moment, the Guru Granth Sahib has...
So they believe it's Lord, Guru, and a prophet, all in one book. They just want everything to be one. I mean, it sounds cool in a way, but it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Just because one guru said it's that, he made the book a guru, and they believe it's a prophet and a Lord as well. 300 years ago. We're not trying to say anything rude, it just seems like...
These are just our true thoughts.
Like, I don't know. Any Sikhs, educate us in the comments, please.
Has been revered as the current living guru. It is treated with extreme respect and care. Oddly enough, the Granth is not only read, but sung. It's made up of thousands of hymns. Sikhs don't have mass or service, but a kirtan, meaning communal singing. Normally, these are set to classical Indian music. Sikhs, the Gurdwara. Sikhs gather at Gurdwaras, a word meaning doorway to the Guru. A Gurdwara is only a Gurdwara because it has a copy of the Guru Granth Sahib in it. Men and women of all castes and social standing gather there to join in prayer, singing and eating. This is where you'll find the langar. Anyone can visit a Gurdwara and partake in the service and meal. You only need to follow basic etiquette. Cover your head, remove your shoes, wash your hands as you enter, and do your best not to bring any drugs or tobacco inside. The most important Gurdwara in the world is the Hari Mandir, or Golden Temple, in Amritsar, India. In 1604, Guru Arjan completed work on the Golden Temple and had the Guru Granth Sahib installed inside it. As a gesture of religious tolerance, Guru Arjan invited the Muslim Mian Mir to lay the foundation stone of the Golden Temple. The temple has 4 doors opening on all 4 sides, to show the openness to all cultures and peoples. But on the inside, only one door leads to the inner sanctum, indicating that all paths and beliefs eventually lead to the one God. The Golden Temple is the most visited place in the world, with around 6 million visitors each year.
I mean, that's not necessarily bad. Like, that belief is also what we believe. Like, but we just believe all Muslims, the one path to God is through being a Muslim.
How many Muslims visit the Kaaba every year?
Probably hundreds of millions.
He said this is the most visited place on earth.
Most visited religious site?
Back it up a second.
The Golden Temple is the most visited place in the world, with around 6 million visitors each year. The langar at the Golden Temple serves a free...
Makkah receives over 3 million pilgrims a year during the month of Dhul Hijjah, around 2 million during the month of Ramadan. The rest of the year, Makkah receives around 4 million. So 3 plus 2 plus 4 is 9. So at least 9 million, just on Wikipedia.
And it's so hard to quantify that number because it's always insanely packed.
Yeah, this is just saying for pilgrimage, 2.5 for pilgrimage. So yeah, it's definitely more than 6 million because Muslims are so much more too.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Whatever.
Meal to about 100,000 people each day, making it the world's largest free-serving kitchen, all run and staffed by volunteers. And the waiting list to volunteer in the Golden Temple has...
Because just poor people go there to eat food. It's interesting. They may not even actually believe in... Like what? I don't know. Whatever.
Hundreds of thousands of names on it.
Those are the basics of Sikhism. It isn't even close to covering everything. I probably only covered about 1%. One video simply can't cover everything. Religions are too diverse, too deep, and mean too many different things to different people. But learning even the basics of anything that millions of people deeply care about gives you an insight into our fellow humans' worldview, and I hope you enjoyed it. You can find all the sources.
That was probably one of the best and most interesting Cogito videos we've ever seen.
It's so in-depth in 20 minutes.
Because I knew Sikhism had influences or similarities to Hinduism and Islam, but that many.
It actually seems way more aligned to Islamic belief than Hinduism, other than the reincarnation thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, like the core beliefs, They believe in one God. The 3 pillars is just praying and doing good deeds and giving to people.
Like offhand, like one conclusion someone could quickly arrive to is that, some figure wanted to reconcile the differences he saw in the world, and thus you have Sikhism.
Yeah. I mean, it came from that one, the main guru, whatever his name was again, having that vision. Then he was gone for 3 days. And he said God told him there's only mankind, basically.
Yeah, and what did he say? No Hinduism?
There's no Hindu and no Muslim. So, it just seems like maybe he came from a good place and just wanted everyone to be unified. But we, obviously, as Muslims, we believe Islam is the best path, because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the seal of the prophets, the final prophet.
And not every religion can be true when they preach contradictory things.
Yeah, if Sikhism is advocating for multiple different religions within its
I think
belief
it's more
system,
kind of like, not that they advocate for those religions, but they believe that they will all lead you to God in some way, which I disagree. Because there are many religions that don't do that. They lead you to a completely false image of who God is. It's not leading you to God. It kind of leads you to a more corrupt... It's actually worse. It leads you to some corrupt idea of who God is.
Yeah. I think it tries to... The thing it does good is it makes humans realize that we're all humans. And even if we follow different religions, we're all humans at the end of the day. We need to have respect for each other. But then it becomes a little irrational to say all religions lead to the same path. But it doesn't. But the mankind part is good. That's in Islam too. We respect other religions, and anyone that's a human, we respect them as a human. They're still a human being. So, I think Sikhism is...
I have no respect for aliens.
Okay. But yeah, it was a really good video and informational. Learned a lot of new stuff about Sikhism, and for us as Muslims, it's a lot of the beliefs.
Are obviously similar. It's influenced for sure.
I like that they have a dagger to protect against injustice. If you guys like this video, leave some comments down below. We'll make sure to reply to them and stuff like that. And Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.